Hello everyone, welcome to Genesis Testament 10 Spoiler Talk, Toaru podcast number 28. You're joined by myself, of course, Malcolm and Othinus to discuss everything Genesis Testament 10, why it's regarded by many as one of the best volumes in this series. So, how we doing, guys?
Yeah, it's alright.
Yeah.
You were just gassing up Heavy Object for ages. You just hate Index now.
Well, it's just like you read Peak and then you go back to Index.
You mean you read Peak and you go back to what was that thing you were reading again called? I don't remember. I don't remember mid. You want to say it again?
Index.
No. It was the other.
You're not convincing anyone to read Heavy Objects by saying this, by the way.
Huh? What do you mean?
I know this is part of your agenda. This is all a ploy to make you read Heavy Objects, even though the anime was kind of mid and everyone stopped it.
Nah, I mean, a lot of people would say that about Index's anime, too.
Yeah, but at least people actually watched all 3 seasons of Index.
Season 3 of Index sure sucked. Man, I guess that means the books suck, too.
Yeah, I'm not using that argument. I'm saying that a lot of people who watched seasonal anime at the time when Heavy Objects came out dropped it.
Well, yeah, but you see, that's because they're stupid and they don't have big brains to understand the concepts in which Kamachi ingeniously incorporates giant robots into being beat up by teenagers.
The mercenaries that wear maid outfits.
Yeah. They were important to the narrative, and
I like maids, so it grabbed my attention. But when I'm trying to watch a series about war and stuff, it's not what I expect. Well, maybe it is what I expect.
Well, you see,
it's Kamachi.
If you care about that, just go watch Full Metal Jacket.
Yeah, well, it's good film.
Yeah.
All right, before I lose any more brain cells, can we talk about Peak, please? I can't even talk about
true.
God tier content.
Unfortunately, it's sharp and talking about Heavy Objects.
Midget that no one cares about. Mecha garbage.
Okay, fine.
Right,
so
right,
in the
right,
first volume of Zombie Little Sister.
No, we're talking about Genesis Testament 10.
Brother, I love you to death, man, but I gotta go.
No, shut up. Right, Genesis Testament 10. What did you think of it? Well, should I go first because I've not made my review yet? Well, I have. I recorded it, but not uploaded it.
Yes,
go
first,
for it.
Leon, please.
Right, so, I did my mini review, to be fair, on Twitter, but yeah, this is the best volume of Genesis Testament so far for me. I was just absorbed by the atmosphere of this volume. It kind of puts you into a false sense of security at the start. It's got quite a light-hearted beginning with the Anna Sprengel fan service, but then after that, the tone drastically shifts, and oh my god, the characterization of Touma and Alice, especially in this volume, is because I have to applaud Kamachi. This is what we've been waiting for. This is absolutely brilliant. We just saw so much foreshadowing. Yeah, Alice is the biggest surprise for me because she's in my top 10 Toaru, favorite Toaru characters now. I just think she's a really unique character. I'm just fascinated by her. Yeah, and of course the ending, which everyone will want us to discuss. While, yeah, we've seen Touma die numerous times. Yeah, by the way, this is spoilers if you couldn't tell.
No way, Touma died?
Oh my god, Touma dies, no way. Well, he's died multiple times before, but this
that wasn't in the cliff notes.
That wasn't in the cliff notes.
This is different. Touma dying here is different because it was given way more, I don't know, foreshadowing, and you had, the stakes and that. And you really felt the impact of his death. I think seeing the Index's reaction, especially, how did you guys feel about that? Because oh my days, Index was absolutely devastated, and then Kamachi comes out with a line her perfect memory is like a curse because she'll remember everything that Toma's done. I'm like, bro, that is awful.
That was in the prologue.
Oh my god, yeah. But yeah, 10 out of 10 volume. I could talk more, but I'll let you guys ramble like I have done.
It was, a lot sure did happen in that book. It was pretty alright.
Is that it? A lot happened. It was alright. You want to talk about in detail?
Dude, you got Malcolm, you got Alan over here literally telling his heart about how peak it is, and you're like, it's alright. I mean, it's like a 6 out of 10. Nah, you know what?
I wouldn't say 6 out of 10. More like a 5.
Well.
Oh,
In any
yeah.
case,
Genesis
I'll
Testament mid, right?
actually answer
It's
you.
mid. It's
No,
the
it
mid
was.
Testament.
I really liked it. I liked it a lot. I liked everything. I told Aeon about this a little bit beforehand, but I love the character development with Honest Wrangle throughout the whole entire honestly arc of GT, from her being like a bad guy to King's Four talking to her, and basically her fighting for Touma now when they were in the Alice in Wonderland world that was in the school where the High Priest destroyed, and it was just like it was really good. And my favorite part about this was it's when they were fighting the Transcendants fighting the Transcendants, but it was Aradia with Met or Moot Thieves. I can't remember her name. I'm really bad at that. Met Thieves, right. but oh my god, Met Thieves.
What about her butt?
she brought like a huge like carrier in the sky and everything, and Aradia's like, what the fuck is that?
She was like, yo, this is just like heavy object.
Yeah, no, shut up, bro. Come on, man. Yeah, stop that. But no, that was really cool though. I really liked that. That was probably my favorite parts of it. But and the fight too. The fight was really good. Touma. Like, I don't know. Like, okay, so honestly though, one thing that really annoys me about Toma's character is that he has to save everybody. Like, I get it. That's his character. Like, that is what he is. I get it. But like, that's the reason why I like the NT9 so much. Like, he's wanted to like just be
Save
selfish.
himself.
Like he's not greedy enough. But the story was still good, and Alice was still kind of at the end like still doubting what she should do. And then ultimately he still died, which in my opinion I still think is perfect for the story. I love it when writers kill off the main character. I think that is genius, but in certain cases, you can't just kill off like Rick Grimes from The Walking Dead and be like, "Oh yeah, this dude was a badass." No, it's not the same. No one gives a shit about
doing it for shock, and then there's doing it to further the narrative.
Exactly, and like with Kamijo being dead, this could genuinely further the narrative because I told Aeon and Malcolm this. In my opinion, I think the GT11 novel will actually be focused on either Hamazura, Accelerator, but now I'm also thinking it could possibly be like Index or Makoto with Misaki, maybe, possibly. But I don't think they'll be focused on Touma. They will name drop him, but they won't like be focused on him. If that makes sense. But no, overall, I thought it was a fantastic novel. Definitely way better than the previous GT novels, especially GT3. But it's really good.
You never even read that. You never read GT3.
Yeah, shut up, Aeon.
It was good.
We don't. No.
Yeah, so he doesn't know Hamazura died?
Oh wait, he died? Oh, I got GT3 now.
Yeah, all right, great.
He doesn't die. He pees in GT5.
That's his ghost.
I know. That's not his. Shut up, dude. That's not.
I mean, he did get shot in GT3, so I guess he can even get tapped.
God, I kind of wish he kind of just stayed shot and dead and lost all that blood, but
I mean, like, basically, that's the plot of GT3. The second half.
Yeah.
Still think you should read it because it's got Accelerator in, and
no,
while he's in the background,
I will read it.
He's orchestrating the destruction of the dark side. That as a concept itself.
Yeah,
really interesting.
I will, bro. I will give you a detailed report about it, so I'm not just lying, being like, I read it, man. Wiki. No. I just saw Kuroko and Hamazura, and I'm like, I'll take a hard pass.
What can you do, guys? Oh well. At least you've read Peak, so.
True. Thank you.
He hasn't read Heavy Object.
Well, I'm still surprised you've omitted a certain event from the volume. I thought it would have been your favorite. The fact that someone took a massive L to a bowl cut pedo.
Aeon, brother, I love you to death, man, but please shut your beautiful mouth and let's move on to what Malcolm has to say. Yes?
What happened, Mal? What happened to GT10?
I think the moment that really spoke to me the most is whenever Accelerator got bodied off screen.
We don't know that. It's not confirmed.
It's not unconfirmed.
Oh, it's
so
Cope.
you know.
Cope is real.
And it was by a bullhead pedophile too.
Whoa, that's quite the accusation. Yeah, okay.
This is their words. This is,
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it was stated in the volume, but
I know.
I think on Discord people were like curious about like the Japanese for that, and I don't think it was that. I think it was.
Oh, do you know the Japanese? Yeah.
I think it was like little girl lover or something like that.
Oh Lord Almighty!
Which is probably
a lolicon.
I don't think they used.
It wasn't lolicon.
I
think it was that, but I think JSO6 just translated it into full on pedo.
Oh really? Oh,
yeah. I think people who read the Japanese were saying and discussing about it, and I saw it on Matchyland.
Oh, okay.
Either way, we can just mention this all day long.
So, Aeon, I'm gonna have to ask you a question, or Malcolm. Do either of you want to explain why Accelerator took presumed to take a massive L this novel? Would you guys like to explain that to the people who do not know?
Yeah. So like Misaka Makoto?
Oh my. Yes.
Misaka beats Accelerator now. All she just has to do is take out some pylons and it's GG.
Yeah, you just has to reflect
Or
the
EMP.
electricity in the air, and it's over.
We're waiting for that Misaka or Trismegistus 99 billion% destroys Accelerator.
Oh my God, bro! You guys are something else. Oh my Lord!
But the imaginary vectors, where are they?
They exist. they exist, Aeon. Oh.
Wonder why you didn't use them. So, what was I gonna say again?
I don't care.
GT10. Anything about it, Mal?
The short fight with a bunch of the Transcendants was interesting.
Yeah, I saw some people complaining about that. They said it was like kind of background filler, but I do think it was important because they were being influenced by Alice at the same time as part of the overall Wonderland chaos vibe that was going. So
yeah, there was that, but I also felt like they were introduced partly for future use, like establishing him now because like he gave a lot of like information and personality for them to stop it, like a fourth of a chapter, a fifth of a chapter. That being said, I think the real standout moment was Satan just being in the book at all. I did not expect because I don't think she's been in any of the main index books, like speaking role wise, has she?
I can't remember, but she's definitely been in the background.
Yeah,
she was like in the background of an image.
Yeah,
but like she's never actually spoken inside mainline index.
Damn, you're right. Now, I was trying to think about it. I can't think of anything.
Unless someone in chat or on the wiki wants to correct us with Saturn cameo, which we have forgotten. Index, not that I can think of.
Spoken cameo, not just background of an illustration.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure. But yeah, I did like the overall vibe of the volume. I think Kamachi did say he wanted like the story to be like Wonderland, how there's like invisible rails which the protagonist is heading towards. Which is basically Touma, and you got all the chaos in the background. So I do feel like he did a good job with it.
Yeah, I felt like the book, like after Touma returns to his dorm, from that point on, it felt very like on rails, like Kamachi put it. Like it felt like it was constantly moving, and you could always see, like it never got like distracted from what it was doing, and that made it a lot easier to sort of read through. Because I read the book in just a day. I was originally gonna like split it up into 2 days.
Yeah, I remember you read it quickly.
Half and half. Yeah. But like once I started, I was like, oh, it just keeps going.
It is ironic the bridge builders Cabal fought on a bridge.
Yeah. It was really deep. I can't believe they foreshadowed that.
What are you trying to say, Othinus?
I was just thinking, like, I don't understand how people could, like, they say that the fight between the Transcendants was filler, but, like, how are you not entertained by, like, what, like two of the Indian goddesses controlling fate and destiny and causality, like, against, Old Mary and, you know, the other Transcendants? Like, I thought that shit was cool. I like that chapter a lot. I don't see how people could hate that.
It also sort of established what the effects of having two Aratias out there are.
Yeah,
like,
it just makes it more peak and double the. Never mind.
Yeah, right.
Double the fun.
Right.
Yeah, double the fun. Yeah.
Aratia is getting a lot more expressive with each book, especially in the illustrations. It's great.
Yeah, no, it's great. Yeah, no, you're right. It's like when Thebes came with that big carrier, and you know she was like yelling at her. I don't remember the exact words she said, but it was just. I just like the interaction between those two. This is really.
You really
good.
don't remember?
Do you remember the exact words? Because I don't.
Yes. She goes, "Whoa, this is just like heavy object." That's what she said.
Oh my God, I'm
obsessed. What's wrong with you?
It's just it's on my mind now.
Well, get rid of it. Get some amnesia from the Dragon's Breath. Discuss index. Right. What did you think about like early on in the volume where I did tweet about this, like it felt like Kamachi was being self-aware in the fact that he made a quote about I think Touma was talking to Aogami or something, and it was like oh, so was she the character the show kills off right away to make it clear people know that they're actually going to die in the show? Kamijo stared into the distance. What a waste. He felt like there were better ways to shock the audience without actually reducing the number of characters, like having her brought back with CPR or revealing it was a human size, blah, blah, blah. And when I read that, I was like, is he acknowledging the amount of fake outs that's been happening in GT? I don't know.
At some point, he's gotta.
That's actually pretty interesting. I never thought of it like that.
Yeah, and then the whole volume becomes about death with, you know, it's foreshadowed that Touma will die.
Yeah, and they kept bringing it back up too in like part 4 when they were fighting. Like they kept referencing like, "Yo, he's got a time limit. He's gonna die. It's his fate." He kept bringing it over and over, dude. But, never.
Yeah, I wonder if Kamachi has seen some of the criticisms of Index, and it's not that in there to make a point. I don't know.
Out of curiosity, whenever Toma's walking back to his dorm from the hospital with Aogami, the Kotatsu syndrome, that's what it was called, right? Kotatsu syndrome? That had already started up, if I remember correctly. So, did it affect Aogami at all? Like, did he seem influenced by it?
I don't think so, and that's concerning.
Yeah, because like as I like going back to it now and thinking about it, because like thinking like Satan shows up and she's out of character, even Kuroko's sort of like lenient towards what they're doing. Like going back through it and thinking about events, I think Ogami sure didn't like do anything. Like you think he'd be out, you know, chasing women or something. But no.
Yeah, I do think it's interesting that we're getting so many Aogami appearances and we get something like this where he should be affected by it. Is Kamachi just shoving it in our faces just to say, hey, look at the most obvious plot twist in history that's going to happen?
Plot twist he's even like joked about in his parody books with Ogami beating up all the bosses.
I swear, this is either the biggest red herring of all time or it's just the most obvious plot twist of all time. I'm not sure.
Maybe at this point, because I think everybody would be like happy with Ogami being the number 6. Like, I don't think people would be disappointed just because it like seems so obvious. I wonder if it's just...
Yeah, they'd definitely be hyped for it.
Yeah, so I wonder if it's just to the point where like Kamachi knows that everybody knows, and he's like, I'm just gonna keep teasing them forever with the most obvious like reveal until like just he'll do it, and it'll be like the most like not blown out of proportion thing in the book. It's just gonna happen, and it'll be like, eh.
Yeah, that's fair. Only time will tell. But I did notice some people were having a discussion about the whole fate concept of the book, because as we know, a magic breaker does nullify the red string of fate, and yet he seems to be on these invisible rails. Does it contradict the magic breaker's function or not? But I would argue it doesn't, because we've seen, like, okay, we've got the phases. Technically, a magic breaker does prevent, like, the sparks and spray, which determinism, whatever you want to call it, but that's essentially fate, predetermined events.
Yeah.
And yeah, that still happens in the world. I mean, it does give the user immunity, but I feel like Alice's power affects like the greater world rather than just specifically Touma. That's how I'd justify it. Or am I coping?
I mean, I think things like sometimes there's just things where like it conveniently bypasses a Magic Breaker, like Ilzard. Or not Ilzard.
You mean like what? Innocentis or something, or are we talking about something that directly overpowers it?
Just something that like sort of passively like just bypasses it. You know, like the alchemy stuff with
It's odd. Yeah,
Izard,
it's odd. Yeah. Alright, fair.
Honestly, man, it's hard to say. Like, it really is hard to say. But I'm leaning more with you on this one, Aeon.
Yeah, fair. Yeah, I just wanted to discuss it because, yeah, there have been some criticisms of the volume, and I don't want to be praising it all the time. I feel like we should discuss every aspect of it. And I have seen some people in the chat saying, "Oh, Touma died already. What makes this different?" And I feel like we did kind of allude to that at the beginning, or at least I did, because it's not like he's just been killed off like straight away by Aradia being built up. And
yeah,
I do feel like, yeah, I think it's like how it's been treated in the story. It's not like treated as if, oh, he's getting back for free. Because, yeah, he's in the afterlife now. I'm really curious to learn about that, since it's basically its appearance is the opposite of the Black World, which Othinus was in. So I'm curious to see what will happen. And from the last line of the book, there does seem to be, like, it's too good to be true that Anakin is just going to revive him for free. That's what Touma thinks anyway. And the whole Hell Tour thing, if they're going to go to Hell, then that's going to be a hell of a ride, isn't it? Or if what Othinus says is true, then we'll see how his death's going to impact like the real world. Well, I feel like even just like the reactions we saw, and
oh yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but like, dude, when Touma was dying and Othinus was on his shoulder still, like with him, dude, I was like I got to see the connection between them again. You know, the understander, and how like you could like when you read the words coming from Othinus's like, you know, mouth, like you could feel the pain of like she didn't want to lose him. And I was sitting there reading that, and I'm like, damn, Kamachi's really like you know what's coming. Like, you know what's coming. You know he's gonna die. But still, like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I just really liked. I got to see like kind of like another side of, you know, Othinus in this situation, the one we haven't seen in quite a while. It's just, I thought that was just something we're talking about. I thought that was one of my other favorite parts of this novel. Anyways,
I thought it was interesting to see Kamachi put Index in a situation where she has to like acknowledge Touma's dying, but she can't openly express herself with it because of Alice.
Yeah,
it was. There's some really nice just character moments for everybody.
True. Thank you, JDFVA, for the super chat. Appreciate you. No message, but thank you. But yeah, I do feel like the Othinus arc does kind of get a free pass, considering if we do go to NT9 and 10 and even 8, where we do see the world getting destroyed, and it's like, oh my god, this has such huge ramifications for like the whole Toaru universe that Othinus has just wiped everything out. As far as we knew at the time, we didn't know about how phases particularly worked until New Testament 9 stated, okay, it's a different phase. It's not like she's actually destroyed everything. It's just just basically removed everything in another universe. But then, at the end of 9, the whole world comes back, just restored, and no one seems to care. Everyone seems to say, yep, New Testament 9, masterpiece. New Testament 10, flawless. Well, maybe as good, if not slightly worse than 9, maybe, depending on who you talk to. But yeah, that got reset, but when it applies to the Touma potentially in Genesis Testament 10, how is that any different to Othinus restoring the world if Touma does come back, per se? It's how you write it.
Yeah, no, it's how he brings Touma back, because he will come back.
Yeah,
we just don't know how. Like, so chat. I talked to Aeon and Malcolm about this, and it was a very long shot. And I wanted to tell them this and ask him because it was pretty outlandish. But I was like, what if by any chance in GT11 that Aogami is in fact the 6th ranked level 5 S for Aihana Etsu, and then what if Aihana Etsu could actually time travel, but only Aihana Etsu and no one else? And if he could time travel and only Aihana Etsu, again, nobody else, go back to some point in the past with Touma and Alice, or even the very, very, very beginning where they first met, or something, and then, fix the timeline from there or whatever. I thought that'd be very, very interesting. So I wanted to bring that up with them. But that's what I think, though.
So
could happen.
Well, just a thought. If that did happen, who's to say that the current Aogami hasn't already time traveled back, and that we're already in the Saving Touma timeline, and that this is all part of it?
That's a good point. That's actually a very good point. But as how nothing's been mentioned, I can't really, confirm that. Although it would be cool though. Like think about it. Like if Kamachi really did do that already, and Aogami, because Aogami did pop up out of nowhere in this novel, maybe it's all part of the plan. Like what?
He's just been
really
chilling at the hospital for a week.
Dude, we're totally overthinking this, but I think this makes 100% sense. Malcolm, I'm with you on this one, man. Like,
no,
dude,
time travel was
like
so
Aogami has only been friends with Touma this whole time because he time traveled back so he could befriend Touma.
Bro, dude.
Oh, this would suck ass. No. No,
That's what I think, though.
I'm very selective about time traveling theories. I watch because it usually causes more narrative problems than it solves, because it has the potential for like plot hole galore with how changing events.
As we know, Index has no plot holes.
People make fun of it. It's like Red Dwarf, which is a show, British sci-fi show, which is inspired partially of Doctor Who and Star Wars, amongst other sci-fi series. They pokes fun the fact that time travel is a huge writing shitstorm that you don't want to.
No, you're right.
Unless you do. Steins Gate does it well, but I feel like time travel is a hard thing to write well.
I only would want Kamashi to do that if done correctly. But I want him to take a long time, like thinking and working that, if that was what he was going to do.
Like 50 volumes worth of time, slowly foreshadowing that Aogami was a time traveler.
All right, we'll move on to another point. What did you guys think about Index's role in the story? Were you disappointed the fact that he was kind of hyped up to have a bigger role, or were you happy with how things spanned out? And yeah, I did like the fact that it was like ambiguous whether, what purpose she had for being kidnapped by Trismegistus, because there was initially the thought, they might want the grimoires for something, and we do find out Alice wanted her to see if there was any of the world's knowledge that could potentially save Touma, and it was like, oh wait, no, there's not, which is like a big fat oof. But yeah, what did you think?
I sort of expected Index to go the route she did, at least like, you know, it being very passive character for the arc.
Yeah,
I didn't really imagine her doing much. I can't, like, the grimoires haven't been very helpful with the Transcendants up to this point, so I don't imagine them just suddenly, like, her thinking, oh, actually, in this one grimoire, I can fight them now. I was more surprised that, because, like, at the end of the book, you have, like, Anna Kingsford, like, seeing what's about to happen with Alice, and then proceeding to, like, I thought, oh, she's going to step in and save Index and Othinus, and they're going to get away. But she doesn't. It's just sort of, they run away on their own. It just didn't play out the way I foresaw right there. But for Index, it's basically what I expect for her at this point.
What do you think, Othinus? Did you expect anything different?
No, I'm with Malcolm on this one. Her response is exactly how I thought it would be. And like you said earlier, how Kamachi even mentioned that, you know, that photographic memory is like a curse. Like that hit hard, man. Like, I was like, man, like that just hit me hard. But no, she acted the exact way I thought she would. I mean, think about it. She's still a kid, technically. I think she's still a kid anyways, unless I'm mistaken. But like, you know, it's just, I don't know, that's just the normal reaction someone like her would have. Also, you can tell that's how she would react too, because of how she's acted throughout the whole entire story of Toaru. She's just that character to not cry, but you know what I mean, to feel that way in that situation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
All right. What do you guys think about like Touma's development over the course of these two volumes? Because yeah, we had GT9 where we saw like a dark twist to Touma's character where he, out of desperation, became a monster in a way where he fully embraced the inner K&T and the dragon and was willing to even, you know, completely murder DRC. And he does reflect on that in this volume, which I did like thoroughly enjoy, because as he's fighting Alice's true form, or her ideal form, I should say, that she creates. I think she is about to like sever his arm. Like, I think she's doing an attack which is on that route, and he actively like pulls away from it or pulls his arm out of the way to avoid that from happening, because he's like, yeah, I don't want to like do that again. I don't want to use the Dragon Strike anymore, because I guess he's afraid of what he'll become again, and he does feel guilty that he's kind of his like innocent Touma mind is like, oh yeah, maybe there would have been a future where CRC and could be smiling and happy clappy.
Yeah, that's what I think is like losing the arm is sort of symbolic of Touma saying he gives up on finding a method to end this, where like everybody smiles at the end or whatever.
Oh, so cute.
So it's like that kind of thing, yeah.
Well, yeah, and we also get him like reflecting on his actions towards Alice as well. He's thinking, oh, am I to blame for this? And yeah, I thought, yeah, Touma and Alice, they've just been like incredible characters in this volume, especially like Touma. Touma's been the MVP for the last two volumes. But honestly, like, so many of these characters in GT10 have, yeah, their characterization has been incredible by Kamachi. You just got to give him full credit. It's been wonderful. But of course, these two are the main stars, so we'll talk about these two first. But yeah, and then what's that quote where it's like, I'm not from Index, but generally it's like you see someone's true nature when they're about to die or something like that, and I feel like
yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. I feel like and we get that quote where he says, I don't want to see anyone suffering even more misfortune than me. You got a problem with that. And it's like, I feel like we did get to see like the true essence of Toma's humanity and about how, yeah, I guess he does see somewhat of himself in Alice. Maybe the fact that he basically became a new person by accident. He didn't really have any choice, and like Alice, who forced to become something that he didn't necessarily want to be. And talk about Alice's messed up backstory very soon. But yeah, I feel like he's basically aware of what happened to him in terms of his memory loss, and just doesn't want anyone else to suffer the same things that happened to him. And I feel like this brings a new perspective on his character. I'll stop rambling. What do you guys think of Touma in these past 2 volumes? Because I just think he's really shined, and I don't think anyone can make a case where they say Touma doesn't have any character development after this. I don't see it.
All right. Yeah, well, here's my case for why Touma doesn't have any character development in GT. No, I mean, like, yeah, I mean, Toma's developing a lot in GT, comparable to like the rest of the series. I've viewed Touma sort of like up to this point. He's been very similar to like some shonen protagonists are written, like Luffy from One Piece, for example, in which they don't really go through a bunch of character arcs, but they're still a fleshed out character, and their character is more so, the purpose of their character is more so to help other people fulfill their character arcs while being a mostly fulfilled character on their own. And that makes, whenever they have their own character arcs, rarely, they hit harder as a result of that.
Well said, yeah.
And I've always viewed Touma in that way. So having him sort of like now have to challenge his ideals in the way he has, even like hints of it in GT2 with whatever his name is in his arm.
Saint Germain.
Saint Germain, thank you. Like, that ends with Saint Germain basically suiciding himself, with Touma like basically like desperate to stop it, but they're like, there's nothing he can do about that. So I feel like even in like some of the earlier volumes, like we've been seeing, okay, here's his morals generally. They can't always be fulfilled. And now we're at the point where he's having to actively give up on making it this all-encompassing thing because he can't save everybody. So he has to come up with a choice that saves the person he feels is most worth saving, I guess.
Yeah, it does feel like he's, well, Touma in Old Testament would always be like, oh yeah, I've got to save everyone no matter what. But I think Genesis Testament Touma has like learned more of reality and the fact that he can't save everyone. And there's no, well, it's not always an easy answer to the problem. I mean, look at Alice. Alice is such a complex character. She appears innocent on the surface, but she's not. She's quite a disturbed and
twisted
person, like a psychopath in a way. And it's not her own fault of that either. She's been molded into this by teacher of Alister we don't know about. But yes, it's not as though that, oh yeah, he just defeats Alice and everything's solved. Well, I guess you could say that. Well, we don't know what's going to happen in GT11, but at the same time, it's not like, oh yeah, this person is evil in a way. Like I think the volume does say Alice is not a villain, and it's true, she's not a villain. She didn't really have any agency or free will to become what she is. I mean, turned into a monster, which yeah, it adds so much layers of depth to this. But yeah, Othinus, what did you think about Touma's character last 2 volumes?
It was really interesting, and you made really good points about like with his arm being like, you know, torn off, and then like he even mentioned it in the fight against Alice where he literally said he didn't want to lose his right arm because he didn't want the invisible thing to come out. Like he stated that. So by him not doing that, I agree with you. I think that shows that he didn't want to rely on that as like a failsafe or like the final plan or whatever you want to call it, right? And then the thing, nothing is really like super changed, but I'll always love Touma just always trying to look out for someone else, before himself. Because like honestly, that's kind of like me in a like a little sense, and like many other people too, of course. I don't like tend to put myself ahead of others. I like to help people before helping myself. That's just who I am. Except Malcolm, fuck him. And then, but no. In all honesty, though, that's what I like about Touma and his character. So I think honestly, everything about the GT volumes that's happened so far perfectly like describes Touma as a character. I wouldn't change anything, to be honest.
Yeah,
that's what I would say.
Yeah, I'm definitely curious to see like how like in the afterlife how that whole ordeal is going to affect him. Will he, when he's revived, will he be an entirely new person, or will he be the same Touma?
Oh, actually, dude, now that you said that, what if this is a long shot, probably will never happen, but what if, let's say he was resurrected, right? Or he came back from the dead, or he, however he comes back. What if he lost his memories of what he already had, but he regained his old memories before he lost them? What do you think would happen if that happened?
Wow.
If that makes sense.
That'd be wild.
I just thought about that. I was like,
yeah,
that'd be very interesting.
So my thought, like whenever he died and before we got to like the white screen, he like white screened.
I knew you were gonna do that. I was about to say white. Sorry, go ahead.
My immediate thought was like, okay, Toma's dead. How do you bring him back? And my immediate like thought process went to like, well, there's KNT. He's basically like all of Toma's like old memories compacted together, just in a very malicious way, I guess. I was thinking either KNT would like somehow like come back and like meet Puppet Touma, or he would be like the key to bringing Touma back to life in some way. Because like, what happens to like the dragons and stuff when Touma dies? Like, Imagine Breaker has to go bye-bye. Unless it's just gonna stick on his arm while he's dead. So, like, what happens to the zoo?
Yeah, that's a good question.
If I feel like in the next book in GT11, we're probably gonna see like parallel storytelling. So you have like Toma's perspective, and then you have like the living perspective, and like the stories are gonna ultimately like come together at the end to bring Touma back, whatever. But there's like those kinds of things where it makes me wonder, what are the rules now? Toma's died before, right? With Othinus all those times, and there was that time he got turned into hamburger meat against Kronzon.
Yeah, true. And Aradia killing him
yeah,
twice.
Aradia.
Oh, and Trismegistus also killed him. Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, he dies for maybe a few minutes at a time. What happens now? Like, he's going to be dead presumably for a longer period of time.
Wait. I'm sorry. I thought of one last thing. Okay, one last theory, all right? What if, since we know Accelerator can manipulate souls with his platinum wings, right? Now, I'm just saying, what if Accelerator dabbles into some more magic to maybe help bring, Touma back to life? That'd be pretty cool.
What if this ends with Accelerator giving up his life to bring Touma back?
You need to be like, you know what? That's a pretty cool idea, man. You gotta be like, maybe Accelerator is just a fodder who's just wall level, dude.
Well, I'm just saying, like, you know,
I'm just
a life
saying.
for a life, equivalent exchange, you know,
Red hair
boy.
fantasy.
People be like, oh, darn, I can't believe Kamachi's just gonna bring Touma back to the status quo as always. But then they add, oh, by the way, Accelerator, Gonzo, dead. Last Order, orphaned. Again.
Well,
He was-
whoever the next like major threat is, because I don't know if it'll be Alice, since Alice is pretty much calmed down now, unless she goes berserk again. I don't know. But
I don't think it'll be.
yeah, but whatever the next threat is, or whatever problem they have to solve, well, I guess the problem could be, oh yeah, we need to bring Touma back, or I don't know if it's just going to be like reliance on Sprengel in the afterlife to do that. So I'm really curious to see what's going to happen in like the physical real world. And in the afterlife as well, to be fair. Like, I have no idea where the story is going to go, and I think I'm in the same boat as a lot of people in that regard. But I do want to see, like, since we did briefly see Alister talk to Accelerator on the phone, I would love to see them, like, work together again in some capacity. I do feel like they probably do have the same goals in that regard. Whether that is helping Touma or fighting against someone. Agree.
Is Touma gonna meet God at this point? Like Christian God? Is he like so? Othinus said in GT9 or in T9, I think, like heaven and hell were their own phases.
Yeah.
And then we had Karanzan confirm the existence of like Satan or Lucifer on Earth and stuff. So like, are we gonna like actually see some like unironic Toma's Inferno storytelling, and he's going to meet some
I hope so.
interesting figures?
Do you know the power scaling that would be with all that? I'm just saying, bro. That'd be insane.
Yeah,
All
I'm
you
sure
think
that's
about, like,
your
all-
immediate thing is, oh my gosh, Touma meets God. I can scale
All-
off this.
All Malcolm thinks about is heavy objects. All Optimus thinks about is power scaling.
You know, you're not wrong though. So,
Yeah.
dude, Malcolm Aeon's so done with us, bro. He's like that. These idiots again talking about their hobbies.
Right, bro. You should read the
Imagine having other hobbies apart from
it.
Index.
No.
Couldn't be me.
Hey, at least my hobby involves Index. I talk in power scale Toaru, spreading the gospel of the Lord, which is the omnibus, obviously.
All right,
of course,
then
of course.
put some other characters into the videos. Then put like Alice or someone.
Dude, I actually need to talk about Alice, man. I really
Right.
do.
You need to all the Alices in Japanese fiction. It's
You need to
time
upload a
scale them all
a
and
video,
see which
Malcolm.
one's
That's
the
what you need to do.
strongest. I'll do it someday. Probably about heavy object.
Do it. No, do it. I want to see a heavy object video.
Yeah, make a
Alright.
heavy object channel, Malcolm. You can do it.
Finally, all four people who care, because
Four
all four of
people
us
who
who
care.
read it.
And they thought an Index channel was niche. Wait till you see the niche of niches.
True.
Yeah.
All right. So I got a real question for both of you guys.
Right.
So since GT10 did end with Toma's death, and we briefly talked about it a little bit, and you know how Heaven and Hell could be the next saga of where Toaru heads. With not knowing where Toaru is going right now, and if there even is a threat in the next volume, what do you think that threat would be? What do you think it would be? Like someone brand new, or you think someone from the past? Because Malcolm, you said again, NT9 they reference Heaven and Hell being their own phases. You know, that could be a thing. Like, where do you think it's going to go from here, though, after, you know, his death?
I mean, they've been building up to the what are they called again? Germany. They just
Yeah,
met
the
them in
Nuremberg
Germany.
plotline. Yeah, that kind of
Yeah.
got me started. Yeah, because they were initially there to find out about CRC or the Rosicrucian Temple, but that kind of got a banner thrown in the works when CRC was defeated before they could actually find out anything important. And then they're like, oh yeah, okay, we'll investigate Alice now. So perhaps that will be, okay, we're going to find out who this teacher of Crowley is. And I think Alice is like, or okay, the teacher, well, one of my teachers who created Alice or turned Alice Little into Alice Another Bible, they were probably like killed instantly by Alice because we know how petty she is and everything. But
Yeah.
so I guess that plot line will probably revolve around the origins of that. So that's why I'm like thinking, oh, okay, maybe we aren't particularly done with Alice yet. I do feel like we might be owed around 2 against her, perhaps. But if not that, then maybe it'll be like Lucifer in Hell, or because I love to see like a Hell arc. If that is what is implied by what Kingsford said about a Hell tour, I feel like that would be pretty crazy to Touma in Hell. If not, then yeah, Secret Chiefs. But I don't. Kamachi's probably leaving.
Sorry, hold on a second. Someone in chat just said that Kamachi name dropped Lucifer at the end of GT6. I don't remember that. Do you remember that? Malcolm,
yeah.
do you remember that?
Well, it's to do with. It's probably to do with Aradia because Aradia is the daughter of Lucifer and.
Oh yes, that's what it was. Yes. I remember now. Yes.
Yeah, but I mean, Aradia was fictional. It was all made up by that.
Yeah.
It was
with
made
young
up,
guy. But I mean, Lucifer was, as in referencing OT, like the whole backstory about Archangel Michael and Fiamma. That's all to do with Lucifer.
Oh yeah,
Lucifer,
yes.
They had a war in heaven.
We've had an Archangel in the series physically show up, so
that is true.
Yeah, we got all 4 of them briefly in the Kronzon arc, but
yeah,
Alister banished them back to heaven pretty quickly.
But we at least know like they can physically manifest at least within the series. It's not gonna be.
Dude, that'd be so cool, man. I would love. Oh, that'd be so cool.
Yeah, I don't know. That still just makes me sad whenever. Man, I thought they were gonna bring back Jesus Christ.
Oh my God, this guy.
Is there a better opportunity to see him now? Is there?
This
So
guy, right?
go over to heaven, hell. Let's go hang out with Jesus and homies there.
So like I sort of wonder, right? So because Index tends to heavily rely on Catholicism as its basis, right? And Catholicism has like the original sin, which is like passed down, right? That's why you baptize the babies at birth. So would theoretically Imagine Breaker negate the original sin in Touma's case? And since it also negates all of God's blessings, would Touma be even allowed in heaven or hell?
Ooh.
Well,
He's in the white space.
Is this a Death Note user thing?
I mean, maybe. If we're going by Catholicism, unless like Kamachi suddenly has... Unless Kamachi suddenly introduces some like Protestant magicians. I don't know. I feel like that's something that could be addressed with the next book, especially if we're stuck in purgatory or something.
Honestly, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just curious, like, what the nature of this white world is. I don't think it's the pure world, or like something else. Yeah, I'm just curious, like, because we don't really know any like lore behind the afterlife. I mean, we've had that implications of the imaginary number school district being involved with it in Mental Out manga.
An artificial heaven.
Yeah, with the cube. Yeah. So I don't know if it's another form of the imaginary number school district. Who knows? Or maybe it is like a dimension or phase. Yeah, because we only know about like heaven and hell, but again, that brings into questions about like the nature of Touma, as you mentioned. I'm really curious to see what this implies for the lore, and holy shit, my lore video is already outdated. Should have probably waited until after GT10 to make a video, but oh well.
I just waited till the series ends to make that video.
Oh yeah. You can't get around that, unfortunately. But I did mention in it that I'd make updates ready or whatever. I did like not include everything either, to be fair. I thought I'd save most of that for my timeline video, but yeah, I don't know why I'm going to be making that.
If we're getting afterlife storytelling in GT11, that could potentially be like the biggest sort of lore dump of all. We can meet like characters that are dead. Like any character could show up now.
Oh yeah, let's go, Sarah!
Terra could, unironically.
You Sensuru. Let's see Terra again. Last time we saw him was NT9.
If Touma goes to hell, and we're doing a Dante's Inferno parallel, then we could unironically see like a bunch of the villains that Touma, or like that died.
Yeah,
Like,
CLC is
physically
gonna be like,
being punished.
CLC is gonna be like really happy. It's like, yes, you're here with me now. Get my revenge. But the possibilities are endless. I do want to talk about Alice's character now, though. What do you guys think about Alice as a character and also her really messed up backstory that she's, yeah, I mean, like, Alice Little was kind of used as the inspiration for Alice in Wonderland. And I guess, like, Lewis Carroll had somewhat of a creepy relationship with her. But from what was said about her being turned into an Alice Another Bible with, and people made fun of like her last name being Another Bible, but it does have like a new meaning. The fact that like Alice in Wonderland is used as kind of like a Bible for the Transcendants, I guess, for game power. But
Kamachi's giving the crazy names an actual in-story purpose.
Yes.
What's Gorgeous Palace's actual reason for being named Gorgeous Palace?
Well, we know Smart Very is very smart, at least.
Right.
But if we go off like the dates of when Alice Little was born in real life, and then the fact that apparently she was made into Alice Another Bible when it was like Alistair was in Egypt in like 1904, that would make like Alice Little like 50 years old or something crazy when she was turned into this lolly.
That's what it was sort of suggested, though, right? Is that she was older whenever she was basically like physically transformed back into a child.
Yeah, that's messed up.
Which I sort of, I for one, I would like to say I knew that Alice would actually end up being like an MVP character. Like everybody was like, Alice, whatever. But like I was like, okay, Alice is gonna be like really good, and people didn't believe it. But so like Alice is good now. You can all say sorry to me.
I mean, we have been praising Genesis Testament for a long time on the podcast, and some people weren't having it. Some people
just doubted Alice, though. People were like, I don't like Alice. She's just like a generic kid. And it's like, that's what makes it interesting, giving a kid the power of God.
Yeah. I mean, we discussed that in detail on the GT5 pod, I think. It's been a while now. I can't remember everything, but I do remember like we were saying, oh, this character seems kind of interesting. She seems like she's quite unique for a Kamachi character or a character in Index. And we were just more curious, like, oh, I want to learn more about her, where the fuck she came from. And I'm glad it's, we've been rewarded with a great story.
His like young lolly characters are always like written up to be like maturity, like their maturity is much older than they physically typically are, with like the exception of like Index. And even then, that's asterisk.
Yeah.
So like it was sort of like a rare occasion where like the child character is actually written like a child, but then it like now we have the added context that she isn't even actually a child, right? Like no, she was adult Alice, who the story was based off of, and now she is like forced to be a child. So you have like, it makes that childlike nature of her a lot darker and much more interesting. And I don't know, I think a lot of people doubted that, and they were wrong.
And then like when she's not being that role that she was forced upon her, you see like basically an animalistic creature in a way that doesn't really have a moral compass, doesn't really understand human emotions and that, or seems to not fully understand. She's like, oh, I need to fight Touma to resolve things, but she's fighting to the extent that she will kill him. and she's not even aware of that, and she doesn't even want him to die, but she's just doing it because she's completely batshit crazy.
I think it described it like her head, like where her head used to be, like the adult head came out. I think was that how it was?
Yeah, because I do think, like, was it when Trismegistus said when he first met Alice? I think he said that she's basically like an animal. She wasn't like the Alice we see now, so she's managed to regain that role that was intended for her.
Yeah, because I noticed, like, in the final illustration, or well, not the final illustration, but the final illustration with her in it, like, they go out of their way to not show what she looks like at the moment. Her face is obscured, and we get the focus on Touma, who died on his feet like a Sigma male.
So he did die like a Sigma male, bro. He looked up at the sky and was like, that smile, it was honestly, it was beautiful.
Yeah, I think I did see like an art on Twitter where it's like Touma bloody, where he's got his hands like stretched towards the focus of towards the center of, you know, you looking at the picture, and that's obviously from Alice's point of view when he puts his hands on her when covered in blood, and then he tells her, yeah, wants to save people from having too much misfortune or whatever, and yeah, just that way of dying was really deep. But yeah,
I did like there was the scene whenever he was running in there, and him and Othinus were like debating how he was going to talk to or handle Alice, and Touma was already sort of planning out how he was going to do his speech to fix her.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
For like preparing his Touma speech beforehand. You're like, well, maybe I can like go talk about my misfortune. So I just thought that was funny, just to see him already like planning the speech ahead of time.
Yeah, that's kind of funny. I did forget about that, so glad you mentioned it. Othinus, what did you think of Alice's character, like her overall character and her messed up backstory? You really like her now?
Yeah, now that I actually have a better like understanding of her, like, you know, we got more details about her, I do like her a lot more as a character. It just flows really well, like in the story with it all just flows well. Like, I don't know what else to say. It flows well.
It made sense.
It made sense. Yeah, absolutely. I thought it was. I have no complaints. I really have nothing else to add. Honestly, I liked it a lot. It was good. It made a lot of sense. She is really she was powerful, and it gave it added to the story with Touma too, giving him even better character development. And then, like Malcolm said, standing there like a fucking Chad with a smile on his face as he passed on. I mean, that's cool. Absolutely beautiful.
Yeah. One thing I am curious about, like going back to the teacher of Alister, I'm wondering, as we didn't find out this, like why they decided to do this with Alice. Did they just want power or something, or did they just use it as a fucked up experiment, or does she have like a greater purpose in the grand scheme of things? Like I'm really curious to find out like what.
Yeah.
What
that's
purpose?
My thought too is there. I feel like there's no way they aren't going to follow up on that. It just feels like such a weird thing to be like, oh, he's probably dead. He will never be important, whoever the teacher of Alice or Alister was. It seems like it would be really odd to introduce all that and be like, have this like not mastermind, but like having somebody who was able to coordinate all this and sort of be the trigger that starts all this, and then just be like offhandedly, oh yeah, he probably died, probably killed by Alice, doesn't matter. It just felt way too easy, you know, to just be that. But at the same time, he could just get vampired and Kamachi doesn't care.
Yeah, I suppose that is true. What was I going to say? Yeah, there's something else I want to talk about with Alice. I guess it's, her character, motivation in a way, like how she separates like Touma from like the other Transcendants. Because there was this line, there was one boy who did not want her power as a Transcendant, since I guess like the other Transcendants, they just care about like saving their groups of people, or they want to become someone else because they just hate themselves. They are actively choosing to become new people, but Alice didn't really have a choice, and I guess they're not really spending time to understand her. I think maybe Trismegistus cares about Alice, but he's not really taking that time to try to understand her in a way. And yeah, I think sorry, go on.
No, I think it was like because Touma was the first one who was there for her, but also rejected her power on top of it.
Yeah. I was getting. That's the rest of the line, which I was reading. He had rejected the happiness brought by her ultimate power and faced her with nothing but his own fist, no matter how many times he was killed. So, yeah, I think in terms of that, he's always like opposed her in a way because he had that chance to accept her power, and usually the norm is for people to accept that power, kind of like the Transcendants who basically got their power thanks to her. He was the exception. I guess that's why she was so fascinated with him and found that person she could gravitate towards, who possibly saw like her as something greater or be beyond what
more than a means to an end.
Beyond what her function became, thanks to this messed up guy who turned her into this lolly. It's really, I mean, there's a lot you can think about and talk about with this. It's a lot of detail which I really enjoy. But yeah, do we want to talk about like the Annas? I know Othinus, you talked briefly about Anakin's development.
Oh yeah, Anna Springel's character development from GT4 to GT10. So I really like the character development with Anna Sprengel because at first she was like Othinus in the beginning. She was a bad person, bad guy. Well, she was considered the bad guy, and then she basically flip sides, and then she was they're fighting against Alice protecting Touma, and we got that really nice panel too. That dude, whoever, I don't know who does the designings for all the light novels, but when you have the Alice and Anna butting heads fighting in the school in the Wonderland world, dude, that was like, I thought that was cool, but I just really like seeing her stick up for Touma, and it was pretty apparent that Anna thought that Touma was her king, because she was looking for a king for, I don't remember how long it was, a long time. What?
A king Ferd?
Kingsford.
That's so cringy. I just got that too the second you said that. I was a little bit slow on that one. I really liked how Anna went from being, the bad guy to, deal like it did to GT6 where they were in the tank going around, this is the district getting shot by thieves. And then they'll have their conversations, and then it just kind of grew to be a good character. So that was I just really liked that. Like she just became like a staple in the Kamijo harem to where she's actually useful and cool now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I don't know. I like that a lot.
Yeah, I think she sort of went through something similar as Alice, in which like up to this point, I don't think many people liked Anna. It seemed like she seemed very unpopular with fans. And I'm curious if people still feel that way after this novel. If anyone in the chat wants to, for both Alice or Anna, if y'all had change of hearts, let us know in the chat. Because I feel like this volume was a lot of that. It was like bringing new perspectives to these characters.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Sprengel was quite a vague character, or ambiguous, I guess, because her intentions weren't clear. A lot of things in GT haven't been clear, to be fair. Kamachi has taken his time to like slowly reveal and explain things, or show who these Transcendants are, or whatever. And yeah, because Anna Sprengel didn't really have any method to her madness for a while. She was just kind of like messing around with everything. And yeah, even like her plan to bring Alice out into the open and cause chaos amongst the Bridge Builders Cabal. I think she probably regrets that decision now, considering how things have spanned out. I don't think she would have wanted this in the end. Well, at least not the, how she feels now, because obviously I think her perspective on Touma has changed quite a lot from the beginning, because I think she saw him as like someone who's interesting, but I can just mess around with you as a toy. But I think she actually values Touma now as a person, considering he's gone out of his way to help, or above and beyond what she deserved. I guess similar to what Othinus experienced, I suppose. But now, yeah, I guess he's found that person who restrain her from doing bad things. So, yeah, I guess we will now see a different side of her. Well, we have been doing. He seems a lot less selfish now. She didn't have to go. She really wanted to go to fight Alice, even though she knows she's got no chance of winning. And like Touma, like even left without her because he didn't want to, trouble her with that. And considering he saved her in the previous volume, or helped save her, I guess, because I have a counselor who did that. But you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yup.
But there's also Anna Kingsford as well. She's basically the emotional support character of this volume. I feel like she's Alistair's emotional support, she's Anna Sprengel's emotional support, and then Touma is at the end. I really love Anna Kingsford. She's my GT waifu. I don't care, that's cringe. I'll admit it.
I don't care if that's cringe. I thinking about it now because we talked about who would be the protagonist of GT11. I don't see why no one mentioned Alister as the protagonist, because I see if we do a parallel storyline, it seems like it would be most sensible to have an Alister real world and then Anna Kingsford afterlife thing, because it seems like there could be a theoretical level of coordination between those two.
Yeah.
As a means of bringing Touma back.
Yeah, true. I do feel like Alister is probably the best person to lead that charge in the real world. Because I am an Alister fanboy for a start.
Yeah, and then he dies because he's been cheating death for so long, and Touma comes back to life.
No, Alister will never die. Well, not for good anyway.
Oh, you know what? We never
important.
mentioned what did you think of the scene whenever Alister was mourning Anna?
Yeah, initially I was a bit. Well, do you mean the first scene, like chapter 1?
What? Whenever she's like poking her fingers in the background.
Yeah, where he becomes tsundere.
Yeah.
Yeah. Initially, I didn't know what to make of that scene initially, because at first I didn't know if I thought I was a bit confused, like why Alister was fighting Kingsford. I was like, wait, why is he doing this? And then I talked to someone in Discord and he said, oh, he's being tsundere. It's meant to be a light-hearted moment. I was like, oh, I thought it was like legit. Yeah. Like he was generally pissed off, but after that,
the illustration
I was like, okay.
makes it a bit more clear.
Yeah, true. Yeah, to be honest, like, at first I thought, why would Alister... Okay, I guess he does care about Kingsford now after, he's been with her for a bit now and treat her like an ally, and I guess he does want to, value people close to him and be a better person. But I was like, is this in character for Alister? But then I thought about it, and I remembered how Alister was like when he sent Kingsford to basically what he thought would be Doken's demise against Kamisato in NT14, and I remember that Alister was pretty upset at having to do that, and he thought he was basically like the magic gods for doing that, because he basically sending someone to their death, kind of like how he thought they sent his daughter Lilith to her death through their actions or manipulation or whatever. And yeah, in that sense, it does make a lot more sense, to me at least, that Alister would feel that way. Do you agree?
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
Cool. Well, yeah, it is interesting, like how much Alister does care about Anna, and yeah, I don't know if it was like, rushed or whatever, but I like that trio so much that it doesn't really like dwell on me that much to overthink about like their relationships in terms of like how much Alister should care or not about Kingsford, because yeah, we do know that Alister did revive her in GT6, and I guess you could argue that he cares about her a lot than he should. And Aisu has joined the Golden Dawn. Thank you. You've now got access to the emotes and emojis and the channel member videos, so enjoy that good stuff. Appreciate you. But where was I? Yes. But either way, I feel like, yeah, their dynamic is so strong that I can warrant the emotion that's involved. Because, yeah, like the prep talk that Kingsford had with Alister about like improving himself, like, because Alister was like, oh, I died, like, or faked my death so many times now, like, I should be the one to go out to fight Alice and sacrifice myself. But Kingsford wasn't having any of it. Yeah. I mean, I got the quote here. It's like, you must not toil with life because you are powerful enough to do so with ease. You have no way to keep yourself focused other than use your willpower to manage yourself. The dead have their own dignity. Humans remain human even in death. You ensured your own pain from the moment you disrespected the dead for the sake of the living. Yeah, because he revived Kingsford, and then you also defied death by becoming a demon, essentially. Improve yourself, Alister. You do not fear taking... You know, if you do not fear taking the long way around to avoid pain, there is much you can learn, just like any magician. And do not worry, lost child or the living, you will not be alone. As an expert, I will do whatever it takes to save the one you care for. So,
Deep.
Yeah, it is deep. Because, yeah, I mean, I think I've seen like some people say that Alister feels a bit different in GT, and somewhat true. Like, he's developed a lot. But if we do remember back to like OT19, he's always wanted to be like the three heroes, but he felt like he never could. And I feel like Kingsford and Touma have made him realize that he's not lost. He can be, you know, accepted by others, and he can be a hero if he chooses to be so. But there is part of me that's thinking that he will come into, you know, some troubles in that, which will prevent him from doing so. And I feel like Touma's death will definitely impact him a lot, considering how much he, you know, cares about him now than previously. Because, yeah, previously he just thought of him as a tool, but now I do feel like he does consider himself, well, he does consider Touma like a son to him. Sorry for rambling. What do you think?
No, I think I think Alister has very clearly sort of developed well past what he was in OT and the beginning of NT. At this point, I just think he cares more about the people around him as people rather than, you know, means to an end like everyone else. You got a channel membership.
What's that?
You got a channel membership.
Oh, no, I've already mentioned that. Yeah.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't hear you spit.
Okay. No worries. What else is there? Yeah, do you have any topics you want to bring up? Because I got a few more, but feel free to mention. Othinus? Or anyone?
No. Have we talked about everything?
Most everything. I mean,
we haven't gone in depth on Accelerator.
Oh my god, dude, I swear, dude.
right, what was it? Was it an ass pull? Well, it's hard to say because we don't know like the full context, I guess.
Yeah, he totally didn't get bodied.
He did not.
Off screen.
I will say, Mal, because you've been a strong proponent of keep Accelerator jailed, like as Trump would say to keep Hillary jailed, I guess. But what I was gonna say, yeah, are you happy that Accelerator is technically out of prison now? Because His Majesty has essentially blown it up, so he's not.
I don't know. He's under the rubble of the prison, so I think it still counts as being in it.
That's just you trying to think that he's under the rubble, damaged and hurt, when in reality,
do you imagine him just
leaving
leaving the prison just because the wall's gone?
What?
So he's saying that Accelerator will use his vectors to rebuild the prison somehow, like Minecraft.
No,
or
I'm saying he's probably
like,
just gonna be there until whatever authorities come along and just sort of relocate him.
Yeah, he's gonna be there undamaged, not hurt at all, just relaxed like he always has been.
He's just gonna be lying under the rubble like Patrick Star under a rock, chilling.
No, I think at best he'd just be relocated to a new facility, a temporary facility.
Undamaged. I agree.
In a coma, the hospital.
No, not
maybe.
in a coma. Alive and well.
I think he actually died, and Toma's just about to meet him at the beginning of the next book.
In hell?
Yeah.
You know what? I'd be down for that. Accelerator.
Accelerator will think hell's just an average Sunday morning for him.
Yeah.
He'd be embracing it.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure it would just be him being mentally destroyed by like illusions of all the sisters blaming him.
Oh yeah, true.
I stand by the thought that Accelerator would probably be one of like the easiest characters to mind break. Like if you threw him in the GT9 or NT9 situation, I think he would have been pretty easy to crack.
Yeah, that's someone I've thought about in the past. Yeah, I do feel. Do you feel like Accelerator would just like not recover his personality, or he would be driven to suicide like Touma, or would he just go completely batshit insane more so than he already is? I mean, he's chilled out a bit now, but would he just completely?
You just put him in a situation where Last Order dies. That's all it takes. Something happens to Last Order, and that's it. It's over. He's broken. True.
Yeah. That is a good point. Although, yeah, I guess the Will of the Mystical Network could help in that regard if he managed to talk to Accelerator.
Yeah, but she's also not a big fan of Accelerator to begin with.
Ah, yeah, she's a Touma fangirl. He prefers Touma.
Yeah, she's like, meh. Glad he died.
Well, at least Alister didn't lose to a regular Transcendant. He beat Moot Thebes quite easily.
Oh god, both of you are on this. I'm never gonna hear the end of this.
And yeah, Alister beat allegedly the strongest Transcendant on paper. Well, I don't think that's true. I think probably Kamachi was saying that in terms of firepower because he stated that in GT9. But yeah, I think like Vid Hadtree or whatever she's called, probably like apart from Alice, of course, has like broken power. But at the same time, like how the hell did she lose? Like. I guess I was kind of like confused by her power because I was like, wait, that sounds really broken. And then she just like loses to like some laser beams and shit. I'm like,
yeah. No, I bet Accelerator lost even using the rainbow wings.
You think you're funny?
No, I'm being serious. I'm sure that's what happened.
Oh, no.
Yeah, when he gets to level 6, it's going to be rainbow wings.
Yeah, rainbow wings, wall level.
This guy, bro. He's funny. Comedian.
I don't tell jokes.
Yeah, you do. Heavy optics is a joke.
Well, I guess you'll have to read it to find out whether or not that's true.
Nah, I've read enough on the wiki page to know everything about it.
Wiki reader, just like with Index.
Ooh, that hurt.
Also, was Trismegistus an idiot for wanting to revive CRC again? I know he changed his mind. But he just
yes.
I'm with Malcolm on this one. That's pretty stupid to try to
Yeah,
revive
no,
him again. I don't.
Yeah, I think he has accepted that Touma is probably the guy he's looking for now, considering he allied with Touma at the end. But I didn't see that coming, to be honest. And yeah, what did you guys think about like the final fight against Alice? And because she didn't really use like her reality warping ability, she kind of used like these different stances or whatever, and she could use like she could like.
So she had a claw attacks, and then she had another attack that could she could cut through space, I believe. And she could deteriorate anyone's body, right? Or is that just from him being in the world? I couldn't tell if that was Alice's power or like just the world's power. Couldn't tell. I think that's all I remember.
Yeah, well,
she stopped time. She stopped time too in there.
Yeah. I mean, she got that where she can crawl and then she can't be hit by anything. Then she can like grab anything. Like she grabbed like her griffin and His Majesties and can basically use them, borrow their powers to enhance her own, and just like throw them around. Shit. Impressive.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah, I did enjoy the final fight. I guess it's more so the dramatic moments stand out above the fight itself, I feel. But it's still pretty good. And Touma good to get the final punch in.
He did punch her in the face twice.
Yes, yes.
Oh, was it twice? Oh, okay,
Yeah. So, it's over. She's part of the harem. He punched her in the face.
She's part of the harem.
Only time will tell. I mean, I feel like Alice is too dangerous to have around as a harem member. Unless she gets, like, giga nerfed.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like that's... At this point, there's plenty of characters that should be too dangerous to have around. I think her nerf is just the fact that they really can't... If she sticks around, she's probably not a character he would actively rely on to fight, because she would probably be a loose cannon.
True. Let's see here.
She'd just get indexed.
Is that what it's called now? Just getting indexed?
Yeah.
Graceful.
Yeah, it's tragic. Totally Index is going to show up as a magic god any day now.
Oh, yeah.
She'll be relevant again.
That's what I thought would happen this volume, but I could be wrong.
You did?
Oh, well, I thought it could happen maybe, or something to do with that, or learn about more about Index, but yeah, that was probably wishful thinking.
Yo, what if they bring him back by finding some random guy and turning him into a Touma Transcendant? Go dress him up like Touma, style his hair.
That'd be mad. Imagine if you do that. That'd be crazy. I feel like there's so many like opportunities in the story. I'm really excited. GT10 whenever that does come out. But we do have Item Volume 3 to look forward to. I think that comes out next month, is it?
Is it?
Okay. I didn't realize that it was already.
Have they released the cover for it?
No, not yet. I don't think. No.
I feel like we normally have the cover art by now.
Yeah, I can't remember if it's June or July. I think it's... But yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, I don't really know what to expect from the latest volume of Item, but if it's as good as number 1, then all for it.
Yeah.
I do need to catch up with Mental Out as well. A few chapters behind, but that's another story. Is there anything else I missed from volume that I've not talked about?
Honestly, I think we pretty much got everything.
Oh
yeah, I can't think of a scene.
Oh yeah,
I mean, there's the opening scene with Anna and Touma.
Yeah. I just stumbled across that. What did you guys think of that? Because did you guys think it was? Yeah, I thought it was quite funny, to be fair. Like the fan service scene, I did. Like Anna Sprengel's total unaware of basic male anatomy, seemingly.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's the moment with Othinus and Binks with where charging like a was it Sleipnir or something. I thought that was funny. Yeah, it's just weird that the volume. Well, it's not weird, but it had such a light-hearted beginning and then just went like progressively. Like,
well, sort of like it starts off like, oh no, we're gonna die and we have to save him, and then as soon as Othinus gets away, she's surrounded by street cats.
Yeah.
And then Sphinx shows up, and just he's like the magic god equivalent to street cats, I guess. Because he just fights them all off and they go away or whatever. They're scared of him.
Yeah.
And then we go, it's like, oh no, we got to get back to Touma. We're going to die. Oh, I just had to abandon Index. She's probably going to be dead or captured. And then it's like, oh no, I'm going to get eaten by cats.
Yes. Sigma Cat Sphinx. There we go. The Chad. The cats. Yeah. Oh yeah, self-aware Kamachi. He did say during the Anna Sprengel fan service scene, the screenwriters probably just aren't used to putting together natural sounding dialogue because even dramas rarely include sex scenes these days. Is that being self-aware towards his not natural dialogue during the fan service scenes?
I'd say so.
Possibly. I know people
ever just
criticized him for that. That's why I felt like Kamachi was just like being really self-aware, and I don't know if it's intentional or not. It probably is, knowing him.
There are occasions where like ecchi light novel series will randomly get like turned into adult novels, like 5 books in. Maybe like Kamachi will do that, but the long game, and all of a sudden, like 4 books, Toma's just got a harem. They're all just horrible things happening on screen. Horrible things.
Anything else from GT10 you wanted to talk about, or is that it?
I pretty much said everything. Overall, the volume was fantastic.
All right, yeah. Fair.
Yeah, that's a solid like 6 out of 10.
Hey, also, he said 5 out of 10 earlier. I'll take 6 out of 10.
Also, I got my style rune card here. People want to see it. Cosplaying him.
Ooh.
You got a wig?
I have got a wig. I've recently cut it. I've not styled it fully yet. Pun intended. There's style. But yeah, cosplaying that at the end of the month, so that should be hype. But yeah, sorry, that was a bit of a tangent. What do you guys rate the volume out of 10? And no 5 out of 10, Malcolm. I want your serious rating.
Wow, censorship.
8 out of 10 for me.
8? Not 9 or 10?
I liked it. No, I give it an 8. The beginning was more of a build up to get to it. It wasn't like, I'm trying to think of the best way to explain it. It wasn't like just thrown right in there and a whole bunch of action and everything. But I would give it a solid 8 out of 10.
Yeah, I feel like GT9 was the one where you're thrown straight into the action, but I feel like parts of like the early parts of GT9 were kind of diluted. It just felt a bit samey with the action, I suppose, to me. I just felt like this was a complete volume. I liked the build-up. I thought the build-up was well written, and the dramatic payoffs were overall stronger than GT9. Not that GT9's bad. I do have problems with it, but obviously Dragon part is really hype. That's just my thoughts. Yeah. We can all have different opinions. We're not gonna gaslight each other into having the same opinion.
Malcolm,
you're not gaslighting me. You're forcing me to have your opinion with this forced not 5 out of 10.
Yeah,
like an 8.5 out of 10.
5 out of 10 is a discredit considering what you've ranked the previous GT volumes as.
You know, it's just Alice was mid after all. So was the book. Nah, I give it like an 8.5, 9 out of 10. I think it brought a satisfying conclusion, I guess, to Alice's arc, depending on how the next novel goes. And it's just like there were a lot of like really good moments. Anna Springle was great. Alice was great. Just Aradia was great. Everybody was just, things were happening, and I liked all the things that happened. Kingsford, great. Just easy to keep on going. Like I said, I finished it in a day because even despite not intending to, it was good. It was a good read.
Fair play. Cool. I guess it's time for Q&A. You have any questions for me, Mal, Othinus, or all three of us? Send them in. Remember, one question per person, so don't spam questions if you have them. One question per person, unless you're super chatting. Yes, yeah. That's very much appreciated for supporting the channel. Thank you very much.
And while you're writing those questions, make sure you like, subscribe, and if you haven't yet, join the membership. What is it called again?
Golden Dawn, of course.
The Golden Dawn. Join the Golden Dawn and become a master sorcerer, one of Alister's teachers today.
Oh yeah, I do want to mention that I think I did write like a tweet, but I had to delete it because the spoiler filter wasn't working for whatever reason. But Alice Liddell, the last name Liddell is significant because if you remember, Samuel Liddell McGregor Mathers, but the only problem with that theory is that Mathers was dead in 1900 at the Battle of Blythe Road in Index timeline, but Alice Another Bible was supposedly made while Alistair was in Egypt, which is like 4 years after Mathers' death. So I don't know how that lines up, but I still think it's interesting that they share a name. Yeah, even if it is not the last name, because I did read an article saying that Mathers is related to Alice Liddell. But there's only one article. I don't think they give a source for it, so maybe distant relatives. I'm not sure, but because that, to me, that would be the most obvious answer if that's true. And he does actually mention Mathers in the afterword, Kamachi. But yeah, what do you think about that?
For me, because Alice in Wonderland and everybody involved in that, it's an English novel. It would be strange to find that unsourced, and then to think Kamachi would come across that information in Japanese. In English, you could only find one mention of it in a random article. So I would not.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
Or maybe he just sees the fact that they got the same name, even though it is his middle name. Says, oh yeah, I'll do something with that. But yeah, currently the time doesn't add up. Either way, I'm sure. Well, I guess there will be theory crafting about who it could be. I guess people just have to find that someone that Alistair knew who was also in contact with Lewis Carroll or Alice Liddell maybe.
Yeah. Man, you mentioned the spoiler thing on Twitter while you deleted the tweet. Did you notice how many people were just freely spoiling this novel, the ending on Twitter?
Yeah, that's true.
It's actually crazy that people just
Yeah, that's why I told you to stay clear of it when on Discord. I told you don't go on Twitter.
Yeah, fortunately I didn't until I looked on Twitter after I finished it. But man, it's people just, I don't know why. It's they have this expectation that everybody already read it. And it's it seems for everything else, there's generally the rule of thumb, 1 to 3 months until after it comes out before you can talk spoilers openly. Because at that point, everyone's expected to have read it. But man, it was 3 minutes and people were already spoiling it. Even on the Reddit, I think people were posting spoiler memes and stuff. It was stupid.
Yeah, and even my post was just a theory, and I did dot things so people wouldn't be able to see it.
But people don't even do that. They don't do the spoiler tag. They don't do anything. It's actually ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't know why. It just seems. I don't know if other fan bases do this, but yeah, especially when I mean, at least for this volume, there wasn't any black and white illustrations that actively spoiled it. Unlike the Dragon King, where you get you basically know what you're gonna get with that. This was you didn't really understand. No one could really understand the images without context. But yeah, it just seems to be a case that people just like, oh yeah, they get the black and white illustrations and just share them straight away. That happened with like the Dragon King, and it's like, why do they have to do it? Like, why do they have to like? I don't know. The thing is, I could understand it more if they were doing it maliciously, but I generally don't think they are. I genuinely think
just comes out of like lack of foresight, lack of like reasoning. It's just
yeah.
I can't even like explain it.
Yeah, yeah, it's weird. I just hope. Well, that's why whenever a GT volume is about to come out, I always make that same post like, don't fucking spoil it for people. Anyway, we'll begin answering questions. Let me just find the first one that's up. Okay, people gave their ratings. 8.5, 9, 7.9. That's very specific. Wonder why the 0.1 wasn't included. 10 out of 10. Say for the term of rival stuff. Fair enough, yeah. I feel like most people on Twitter have given this like a 9 or a 10.
Yeah.
Okay, first question. Uchimaki Subaru. How much worth of anime seasons has index source material right now? Well, excluding, the first 3 seasons. So we just talk about New Testament and GT. Well, I guess
good adaptation or JC staff adaptation?
Yeah, because I guess you could say, oh yeah, we can squeeze 3 seasons in there if we do the same thing that Index 3 did, where you just cram a bunch of arcs into one. But
every every arc into a 3 episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, to be honest, I'd probably say like, I don't know, for anime for anime seasons that are well paced and don't like rush through it, I'd probably say around 6 maybe. What do you think?
6 seasons?
Possibly, yeah, because I feel like if we have 4 seasons for New Testament, so we're not rushing not rushing it like OT did. Or if you do like more episodes. I don't know.
In my mind, like a good average would be 5 to 6 episodes a season. Or 5 to 6 episodes an arc.
Yeah.
So we're talking like 24 to 26 episode seasons. That would be like 10 seasons.
I'd be okay with that.
Putting it in that perspective is like, holy shit.
Yeah, it's not including side stories either, or spin-offs.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Because, we could say, we want it to be, like Mal said, drawn out, so we have like 5 or 6 episodes per arc, or maybe less for like arcs like New Testament 2, which are pretty short. But, if we're not rushing through it like how Index 3 did it, it's probably going to be a long time. Or, many seasons. That's crazy.
Because, like, I would say, you're going to get mad because I'm mentioning it in Heavy Objects anime.
Oh,
like, that was an actual, like, very close adaptation to the novels, right? And that was... excuse me. That was 24 episodes, technically 22 episodes. Because the last 2 episodes were an original arc. But 22 episodes for 3 books. They only adapted 3 of the novels for Heavy Object. And, roughly about the same length as some of the Index books. I think they were a bit longer than the average Index book. But following that logic, 3 to 4 books a season could be done if it was like a Heavy Object tier adaptation.
Right. Next question. Sky Dragon. Where is Accelerator? Under some rubble. Chilling. Like Patrick Starr.
Yep. Actually, well, never mind. Just I'm not
He's about to meet up with Touma.
Next question.
Okay. Comic. For everyone in the podcast, what are your predictions for GT11? I mean, we've talked about them briefly. Well, not briefly. We've talked about it quite a bit because we are obviously intrigued. But my prediction, well, I could go say, oh yeah, what I want to happen or what I think Kamachi would do. But considering I can't predict what Kamachi will do at all, I'll just say what I want to happen. Yeah, I like Touma and Kingsford to go to hell. not generally. Actually, visits hell. Disclaimer: don't hate me for saying that. And yeah, Dante Inferno, and then we get Alister and Accelerator teaming up to solve the Alice mystery, and then some secret or whatever. Sounds good.
Yeah, for me, roughly the same thing, minus Accelerator, because he's in prison and preferably under a rock still.
Your face is what I'll do.
Yeah, I'm sure. We can power scale my face versus your fist.
Uh,
but I don't know. I think it'd be Alister focused. It would be something Dante's Inferno inspired with the Touma Anna Kingsford storyline, and then Alister probably doing, I don't know, going through the stages of grief, of loss with Touma, trying to bring him back maybe. I think that'll be maybe his goal unless he like morally is against the thought of bringing somebody back to life now. But yeah, that's it for me.
And Othinus, what's your prediction?
Time travel.
No.
Honestly, I'm just kidding. Honestly, though, like I'm open to anything. I'm kind of with you, Aeon, with the heaven and hell thing. That'd be really cool to see. I think that actually add a lot of depth to the story too. But I like that's what I would like personally.
Cool. Demon King Al, is it time to invest in Algami stocks?
You didn't already?
I think so. Ihana Etsu is upon us. It's gonna happen, seemingly. Well, the question is, will it happen in item or will it happen in index? I feel like it's too important to happen in item, so yeah. Okay. Imminent successful. Oh wait, I think I skipped one. Sorry. Evolution GG Vegito. Do you believe we're going to see the real Ihana Etsu sometime in the future volumes? Knowing Kamachi, I'd probably guarantee it, considering we saw him in GT2. We'll probably see him towards the end, maybe. Round it off. Full circle.
Yeah, maybe GT12, I could imagine seeing him, like an art starting there.
That'd be cool. Othinus, what do you think? Othinus? Oh. I thought you went there for a second. I was like...
No, I'm still here. Sorry, my dad just landed back in the States. He went out of state and he just landed, so he was just texting me. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
Oh, no worries. The question was, do you think we're going to see the real Ihana again soon?
Oh, absolutely I do. It's just, honestly, we will. It's just not anytime soon. I mean, I feel like Kamachi's going to keep, like, name-dropping him, like, for the next 40,000 decades before we actually, like, get him. I mean, he made an appearance in GT2, though, in the hospital with Touma. But, like, other than that, we haven't really, like, seen him or heard of him or anything. So, hopefully soon. I want to see more. I want to read more about him. I want to know more, but I don't think we'll get any of that anytime soon.
Yeah. Yeah, imminent successful now. Here is a question for Aeon. Now that Touma is in the afterlife, what do you think will happen with Imagine Breaker, since it was originally used to be a treasure? Yeah, oh, that's something I forgot actually to mention. Because, yeah, I think, yeah, Touma did bring up what's going to happen to Imagine Breaker, because he remembered that, yeah, it was used for the arrow when he, saw the flashback thing with Alister in the Windowless building. Yeah, that's a great point. Because if it is, how Imagine Breaker functions, then it should go to the person who's most suitable to wield it. And who would that be in this situation? Yeah, I can't believe I forgot about this. I didn't write it down. That's why. But yeah, so I don't know if it would respawn straight away, because as we know, when it disappeared in the Battle of Live Road, it took quite a while to reappear in the world. But yeah, it might be a while, and it might not affect anything. But if it does reappear in the world, then who's going to be using it? Alister?
Potentially.
Could you imagine? It goes back to Alister. That'd be crazy.
It doesn't have to be in a living being, right?
That is true. It can go to an object.
Yeah, it could just be on Touma because like he's dead, but he's still an object that exists.
That's true. Yeah, could stay with him. Maybe
Maybe
Imagine Breaker's like, okay, you cook Touma. Yeah, I'm gonna stay on you for now until someone takes you off me. I don't know.
Well, I mean, like, because the dragons exist, right? If you want to come up with a reason for why the dragons, either their lifespans are tied to Touma, or Imagine Breaker is still there to keep them in check.
Yeah, true.
Or maybe the next book is just everybody fighting dragons.
That seems plausible.
That'd be mad. people will definitely freak out about that. But yeah, that does bring many questions. But yeah, thank you for that question. That's very thought-provoking. Appreciate that one. A certain mysterious virtuoso. Wait, Touma died? Yes, he did. But he might be back. We need Kingsford to save him in the afterlife. Just seeing if there's any more. Yeah, this one's already answered. Okay, Aisu, the new channel member. What if GT11 is actually another backstory like NT11? Backstory of who? Like Touma? Or...
It could be Alice.
Yeah, like flashbacks of Alice, maybe. Oh.
Yeah, or maybe the number 6. I don't know. I think it would be a weirdly timed thing to make it a backstory.
Yeah, because I mean, with like drawing back to the Othinus arc, we got that, well, pretty much conclusion to it. We were basically rounded off with, Othinus respawning as a fairy and them seemingly reaching a peaceful conclusion. I mean, there was a bit with Alister in the Hidden World, but yeah. And again, then it's like a reset. But I feel like there's still a bit more of this left to be told. Because I feel like most people would want to know what's going on with Touma. And unless they interweave it in a story, which they could do. Like, could have like the present plot line going on and then some flashbacks. But yeah, I don't know if that'd be too much for it. With too much going on. Who knows? MRGGXD. How would Style react if he found out about Touma's death?
Index is gone. Breaks out into a musical piece.
Yeah, I think he'd react like that.
He'd be in Academy City the next day to bring back Index.
Yeah, Style's just a dick. Like he's wanted. Well, he doesn't like the situation that Index is with Touma, so he's happy that.
Yeah.
Well,
actually, that does make me think Touma can't stay dead for that long, because if he is, we'll have to go through a whole thing of him getting Index back, because there's no way Touma's dead and she just stays there, right?
Yeah, she'll have to go back to the Anglican Church, surely.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Unless, like, Accelerator adopts her. I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think that's happening. I mean, it was already, like, a big stretch to even allow Touma to...
Yeah, Style be like, now's my chance. Time to retrieve my love.
Hello, my honey. Hello, my...
God. But yeah, I wonder if we'll see Touma's funeral. Or...
That's when he'll come back, is in the middle of the funeral. He'll wake
like
up.
Joseph Joestar?
Yeah. Actually, I can imagine that. And then you can just be like, oh, it must have been one of those things where everyone just thought he was dead. And then they woke up at their funeral. That guy. It would be the funniest way to bring him back.
All right. Next question. Zancho Miguel I Media Via. If Imagine Breaker is gone, then what about the dragons? Yeah, we kind of talked about this. And the other kind of broken ass things inside of that boy's right arm. Yeah, we kind of talked about this. I don't know. I can want to reiterate or. Yeah.
Imagine Breaker gone. What about the dragons? My assumption is if they don't do anything with it, they're either tied to Touma's lifespan, or Imagine Breaker will just stick on Touma's body and keep him in check.
Yeah, well,
or who knows? KNT comes back and LARPs his Touma until he comes back to life.
That'd be crazy. Aesthetic Life asks, how would his waifus react, assuming it's about Touma's death? Yeah, I mean, we saw some of their reactions, unless it's... I think it is about Touma. Yeah, we saw, like...
With how Kamachi's been as of late, he just won't even bother writing it.
Do you think Misaka will go, like, edgy mode again? About her man who she's obsessed with? Because Chocoho kind of, like, accepted... Like, this was eventually going to happen to Touma. But Misaka, we didn't really get to see much. She kind of, like, screamed out or whatever. She, like...
I don't know, because, like, right now they're both on the sort of same arc of trying to become stronger to support Touma. And if he's dead, that basically means they failed.
Yeah. Will they move on?
So, I can't imagine them just, like, moving on like that. Like, that was their whole purpose for existing at this point in GT was...
So Misaka's not going to give Zali a chance. Is that what we're saying?
You know, she seems to be such a big fan of like pushy guys like him. Totally would.
Come on, Kamachi Cook, make Misaka exit Zali happen, please.
Bro, can you imagine the freak out, the NTR freak out people would have?
Be glorious.
People would legit drop the series right then and there if
I'd be all
Makoto,
for it.
Like, ended up with somebody
if I was
else.
Kamachi, I'd do it. The ultimate troll, but then you're like, oh shit, I've lost money.
This is where Ogami comes and takes his place as the real harem ringleader.
That I can see happening. Oh god. Anyway, I think we've answered all the questions, if not all. Yep. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Hopefully GT10, not GT10, bloody, for God's sake, GT11. Hope that's good. I'm sure it will be. I'm really excited to see what will happen. And yeah, got plenty of stuff on the way, item free, and hopefully some announcements for the year. So very exciting times as always. Yeah, make sure you check out Malcolm and Othinus in the description. Subscribe to both their channels, even though Malcolm doesn't upload, and Othinus won't talk about Accelerator for a while now, I think.
Oh, is that what you think?
Oh, okay, you're still going to spread the agenda.
Yeah.
Better be prepared for some hard facts.
Yeah, you're not playing Yu-Gi-Oh right now, are you?
No, I'm not playing Yu-Gi-Oh right now.
But yeah. Yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Oh yeah, I'm also doing a review. Well, this will be a more condensed version of this podcast, essentially. I'm doing GT10 review, which will be, yeah, just a normal video, won't be a live stream. So stay tuned for that in the foreseeable future, later this week. Maybe tomorrow if I can do it in time. And yeah, thank you for watching. Appreciate you all. See you all next time. Bye-bye.